Hey everybody, we're here at Standing Indian Loop in Nantahala National Forest. We're doing a 3-day, 2-night backpacking trip. Here's my pack. As you can see, we're just getting wrapped up here and we're gonna get ready to go. Pretty easy day today, probably about 5 miles to the top of Standing Indian Summit. And we're gonna camp at the top. Hopefully my favorite camp spots available up there. It gets pretty crowded sometimes. But anyway, I'm gonna do some last minute preparation and then we're gonna get going. I'll check back with you guys later. Alright, I'm on the trail now finally. It gets a little confusing trying to find the lower ridge trail. I think it would be easier just to take some roads, but I'm gonna have to look at that when I'm done here in case I ever come back. So I forgot to mention that I'm actually starting on a Friday, so I'm expecting a little bit of a crowd. It's actually early August. Beautiful weather. 80s during the day. It's going to be in the 50s at night. Probably even a little colder up there on top of the summit. I'm starting just after 9:30 in the morning, so I expect to be up there pretty early. We'll just play it by ear. Starting off with a little uphill. It's been raining the last week every day, so we got quite a bit of mud. But I think it'll start drying out a little bit. Got my first water crossing here. We're starting off kind of with a bang, pretty uphill. A little humid out this morning, but it is in the 60s. So I forgot to actually introduce myself since I'm going to be trying this whole YouTube thing. My name's Ray. I actually live in St. Petersburg, Florida right now. I get up here to western North Carolina quite a bit because my parents live in Franklin. But yeah, I do quite a bit of Appalachian trail hiking. But I figured I'd try the whole YouTube thing for a little bit. Gotta be real careful crossing this. It wouldn't be good to start off the hike with wet shoes. A little early for that. So like I was saying earlier, I'm going to be doing 2 nights, 3 days. Total of about 22-ish miles. I've seen different reports on the length of this trip, but we'll call it 22, give or take. As you can see, the sun's out, but it's pretty dark here in the valley. So I'm about a mile into the trail and man, I messed up. I forgot my trekking poles. I forgot them at my parents' house over in Franklin, and you know, I'm already a mile in and I drove all the way up here. I'm not going to go back for trekking poles, but I was just thinking about it as I stepped on a log and almost fell. I'm like, man, that would have been nice to have the trekking poles. I knew something didn't feel right, but you can't win them all. I guess it's better to forget trekking poles than something important like your stove or something of that nature. So I'm pretty new into using a GoPro or filming anything. So if this is abnormally choppy or boring, I apologize in advance. It's been just relentless the last mile or two. I think we're about a mile in. Boy, trekking poles would be nice. So we're about a mile and a half in now. I've run into one person. He spent the night on top of Standing Indian Mountain, which is where I'm going to be heading. It's been nothing but uphill so far. I've done this Standing Indian loop before, but I've never taken this trail up. I've always done Kimsey Creek, but this is a little shorter, and obviously it's going to be a little steeper. But weather's beautiful so far. Next 3 days there's not supposed to be any rain, very low chances, so that'll be nice. Finding a day without rain up here is almost impossible sometimes. From what I was reading, it rains more here than any place in the United States on average per year. Don't mind me, I'm just a little out of breath going up these hills. Either these hills get bigger every year or I'm just getting older. I'd say we're about 2.5 miles in, maybe 3 miles. It's kind of hard to tell with all the uphill. It's going to always feel a lot harder than it really is. And it feels like you've gone a lot further. I should be up to camp pretty early. But as you can see, this is what we got right now. It's been just relentless uphill. But I couldn't really ask for anything more with the weather. Beautiful blue sky. Probably not going to get rained on. That's always a good thing. I don't want to speak too soon, but yeah, everything's good. Little overgrown end, but haven't really had any issues following the trail yet, depending on what time of the year you come up here. I made my first, I guess you can call it a view. When this isn't grown in, this is normally beautiful. Just gonna take a little bit of a breather here. Probably got another, I'm gonna guess, 1.5 to 2 miles to the summit. You see it's a little campfire area. Probably got enough room for a couple tents here. I think this is Frog Mountain, I believe is what it's called on the map. Anyways, it's beautiful up here. Really couldn't ask for a better day, weather-wise. Supposed to be a full moon tonight, too. Sometimes that's not good, though, because you can't see the stars as well. But it's actually kind of cool with the forest lit up at night. This is my pack here. I got an Osprey Atmos 50 liter. We'll get more into it later when I undo the compartments and set up camp. But I'm definitely liking it so far. I upgraded from a 44 liter to this one, a 50 liter. So about 6 more liters, but it definitely feels a lot more room. It's got a ventilation system. Works pretty well, keeps the air flowing behind your back so you don't sweat as much. Anyways, I made my first, guess you can call it a view. When this isn't grown in, this is normally beautiful. Just gonna take a little bit of a breather here. Probably got another, I'm gonna guess, 1.5 to 2 miles to the summit. You see it's a little campfire area. Probably got enough room for a couple tents here. I think this is Frog Mountain, I believe is what it's called on the map. Anyways, it's beautiful up here. Really couldn't ask for a better day, weather-wise. Supposed to be a full moon tonight too. Sometimes that's not good though, because you can't see the stars as well. But it's actually kind of cool with the forest lit up at night. This is my pack here. I got an Osprey Atmos 50 liter. We'll get more into it later when I undo the compartments and set up camp. But I'm definitely liking it so far. I upgraded from a 44 liter to this one, a 50 liter. So about 6 more liters, but it definitely feels a lot more room. It's got a ventilation system. Works pretty well, keeps the air flowing behind your back so you don't sweat as much. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling on here. I'm gonna sit down here and relax and start heading uphill. Kind of walking along a ridge line here, pretty close. One wrong foot, or wrong step I should say, you go down the side. Just gotta watch your footing on this trail. But it's been beautiful. We got basically one big uphill to go, and then we should be at the summit. I'm doing okay so far without my trekking poles. But it sure would have been nice to have them. There's no doubt about that. I spent the night on top of this summit. I believe 2 years ago was the last time I was up here. Last year I did Winding Stair Gap to the NOC, which was a beautiful section hike. I'd love to do that one again. But this Standing Indian Loop is one of the popular loops in this area due to, you know, there's not a whole lot of loop trails you can do with the Appalachian Trail. A lot of them require, you know, a shuttle from point A to point B. This one you kind of can leave your car at one point and make a loop trail back to the car without ever having to take the same trail back to the car you did on the way up. It's getting pretty grown in right now. As you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, and I'll catch up with you guys later. It's kind of hard to watch your footing. Yeah, we're getting pretty close now. Well, I keep saying that, but every time we turn a corner, looks like the mountain gets bigger and bigger. But we're almost there. See, as you can see, it's pretty high up. Just keeps climbing. I've only done this trail downhill, and of course it was a lot easier. Although downhill sometimes takes its toll on your knees. Nice little view here. We're almost to the top. A lot of insects on this trail. Haven't gotten bit yet. Not a whole lot of mosquitoes, but a lot of bees, a lot of yellow jacks. Just stuff like that. Little gnats that fly around in your face once in a while, but other than that, it's pretty good. A lot of butterflies too. As you can see, it's very overgrown. It isn't quite as broken in as the Appalachian Trail is. We're going to be coming up to the Appalachian Trail intersection here pretty soon. Well, I made it up to the top of Standing Indian. I claimed my camp spot, set up my tent. I still got to put the rain fly on. Just ate some lunch and just hanging out up here. It's one of the most incredible views you'll ever see. It's hard to get much better than that. I mean, it's pretty early. About going on 3:30, 4 o'clock. I might start a fire later. We'll see. Maybe something to look at and hang out. But I'm just hanging out up here. Not a whole lot going on. I'm sure a bunch of people will come up here in a little bit. Still kind of early. Already ran into quite a few people coming up here to look at the view. Anyways, guys, I'll catch back with you later. I'm here at the water source. Quite a hill down. Well, it's almost sunset, probably another hour. I'm all set up here at camp. Ate some dinner, packaged gourmet burger. It's a pretty good company. First time I tried it, it's delicious. I'm just gonna wait for the sun to go down and probably go to bed. It's damn near hike route midnight. Morning everybody from the trail. As you can see, we're pretty socked in by fog right now. Woke up, I packed up my campsite and off we go. Gonna go for about 12-ish miles today. Our goal is Albert Mountain and we'll take it from there if we're gonna make it a two-nighter or hike back down to the car. We'll play it by ear. We've crossed yet another water crossing. And we've gone about 4 miles this morning. Very rocky terrain. Gotta watch your footing, especially with it being wet. Other than that, feeling good, having a good time. Looking to cram some miles today and see where it takes me. So we're seeing a lot of bear warnings on trees saying that there's been recent encounters with food bags, and we recommend using a bear canister in this area. Now, I don't have a bear canister. I've just been hanging my food with a bear bag. Especially along these areas, there's a lot of shelters, a lot of people stay. Once the bears figure out where the food is, they keep coming back until the area is kind of vacant. Now I'm thinking today I'm probably gonna hoof it back to the vehicle. Only got about another 10 miles. No trekking poles, and I kicked over some of my alcohol out of my bottle. I don't have a whole lot left. I was gonna camp out about 4 miles from the vehicle anyway, so looks like I'll just be hiking 4 more miles today. Just climb up to Albert Mountain. Man, is it rough. There's some areas you almost got to get on your hands and knees. This is some tough hiking. Got about another 1.5 to Albert Mountain. Be nice once we get up there, nice view. Just gonna relax. Eat a little snack, drink some water. And then it'll be the final approach to the car. Man, look at that view, huh? We're pretty sucked in by vegetation, but every now and then you get a nice view. Be even better view once we get to the top. Still heading on the way up to Albert Mountain. Take a look at this rock. It's bigger than a house. That's impressive. Seems like this hill is never going to end on the way up. The mileage on the map, it always feels like a lot more when you're going uphill like this. So I was thinking this video is kind of what not to do. So let's see. Forgot my trekking poles. I forgot my fire starters. No way to start a fire. Everything's kind of wet up here. So without a fire starter, I wasn't going to have much luck. And then I kicked over a lot of my alcohol. And not even going to have enough to do dinner tonight. Even if I were to stay out here. So I think this is kind of what not to do. Let this be a lesson. I'm usually a lot more organized than this, but I guess it could be a lot worse. Shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers, Syntax77. At least I didn't forget my tent. Within a quarter mile of Albert Mountain. Boy, is this slow going. Check the trail out. I have to climb all the way up there. Very rocky here. Almost like a northeast feel. You don't see it typically this rocky down here in the southern Appalachians. I was born and raised in upstate New York, so this reminds me of the mountains up there in the Catskills. Slowly but surely we're getting there. We'll get up there and we'll relax for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to hike back down to the truck, probably about, I would say 4 or 5 miles back to the truck once we get to the top. But it'll be all downhill after this. Made it at the top of Albert Mountain. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I've been up here before. Man, is that a hike up. The top of the tower is actually closed off. You can get to the top of the stairs, but they close it off up top. I made it to the intersection of Long Branch Trail. This is going to take me back to the car. Oof. This is going to be an 18-mile day. Alright, let's get to hoofing. This is the biggest river crossing yet. I guess it really don't matter if I get my feet wet. The truck's right up the trail. Got about another mile. Some nice camping out here. Alright, well, I'm gonna step across and try to not hold on to this camera, or I'm gonna break my face on a rock. Alright, looks like we made it back. Truck's still here, that's always a good thing. Oh, thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I'm kind of new with this YouTube thing and it's kind of a work in progress. Take care, guys.